Yeah, I finally just decided to say, you know, oh, f it. You know, I've got sufficient money left over in my 2024 budget. It's cheaper. This is the cheapest place on the planet probably to get good stainless steel welding done and fabric work done. And we're just going to stay a few more weeks and get this arch rebuilt. Now, the forward arch is already being removed. There had been one mounted there and in here, and it kind of leaned forward, provided the canvas cover up here, which I'm sure I have another photograph of. The two arch pieces are here because we intend to reuse some of that stainless. That's a lot of damn stainless steel. It's, in the USA, it's $6 a foot at least. That's the salvage price. The new price is probably $10 a foot. But at any rate, we'll eventually remove the aft portion as well and get that fitting out of the wood and get the other fitting out of the fiberglass, and this will all be demobed, and we're going to essentially build a T-top that goes all the way around. That's what we're going to be working on, and it'll be taking shape by in the next week. Today's Saturday, so we'll get some work done today, but we certainly won't finish today, and tomorrow's a rest day. These guys, they do good work. I'm happy for them to take a day off. And I've got all the cables, and the antennas they're going to stay right there until the job is done. Except I have to go to the inside and pull out all the cables. At some point, unless well, it's all a question of cable length. I don't think that cable is going to be long enough for any of them to get, and all the way halfway across the arch or something, because they had been right here. So odds are I'm going to have to pull more cable back. So that's a task for me, is to get all those cables pulled out, coiled up, piled up here on the deck, and just wait until the arch is finished, and then I can start running new cables. The real question is going to be how to get the cables from up here, on the arch down to here without causing a grievous future problem. I'll have to figure that out. That might take a glass of rum. So you can see the pieces of tube in between. And everything is tacked up now. So right now it's just tacked. We'll do the complete weld out on another time. But having this all set together and tacked into place will give us some idea of how we want to build the rest of the structure. Because I'm kind of curious about the height. We certainly don't want anything higher than this, because then it will interfere with the bottom of the sail and the boom. We don't want that. So if you're going to be lower at this height or lower, then you can't attach to the boom gallows itself, so we'd have to attach to the steel here or where the rope is, and I'll let these gentlemen decide that. I think the smart play is right here, weld straight out. It won't be straight, it'll probably be at an angle. So in my old career, when we did big projects at power plants, there was always a step called interference removal, where you had to remove, in some cases, a lot of stuff, like chopping pipes off and things like that, in order to gain access to do a major piece of equipment replacement, like, such as, like you're replacing a turbine. Well, there's a portion of the power plant that gets built in around the turbine, and in this case, in order for these men to build the new cockpit cover, at some point the old one's got to go. And that's what I'm kind of doing now. So we're on. And they're plugged in too. So they can continue to do their thing, because I left them attached together onto the old battens. That's what these are, just fiberglass strips. Not quite sure how we'll install them on the new design, but new design's not here yet. The function today, the purpose today is to get these tubings out of the way so the guys can finish the work. Okay. Okay. Well, no matter how good you think you are, there's always time to do shit work. And the causes of shit work usually are self-inflicted, you know. So look at this white stuff. It looks almost like paint, but it's not. It's a cleaning agent called soft scrub. But anyway, this is the problem. See, oily shit coming out from here. So if it's oily, that usually means it's come from the engine compartment. But in this case, that's not happening. My engine compartment bilge is dry. The water is coming from under here. From under here. That's where the potable water system is, and that's where I need to do the work. Yours slip away, they sure do, don't they? And when you see all the diapers down here in the water manifold area, you know that's not good, and it's not good. But this water will drain to the main bilge, and you can see some of the water down there. So that water, that's a little puddle in here, that is that little rivulet, is exactly where it's coming from. I guess I can inspect it because I can see some water up here now. So I'll double check where I think it's leaking from, but it's on the suction side of the pump for sure. And the diaper here is full. As you can see, this one is all plump and okay, I bet these will come off pretty damn easily. This is not an easy predicament, you know, because you can't get all the fittings you really want to do it properly. But we can't, and I found out that that was a fitting, that's the fitting that's been leaking right there. And it's the right size nipple. That's one of the existing nipples from the boat. So I don't know why that's leaking, but it was. So we'll work on that, of course. And we'll change the hoses, of course. And we'll put new nipples on this, of course, to forestall. And I'm going to try to physically get the pump. If this hose, if I put a long enough one, I can get this pump so it's sticking over here where I can see it more easily. Okay, let's get it. Okay. That's the discharge of the pump. That's the suction of the pump. And that water should stop because I've got the valves closed. That's the valve from the starboard tank, and the port tank is under the sink. There's black shit in the floor. I don't know what the hell that is. Nasty though. But we'll have all this cleaned up, of course, before we reassemble. Okay, so this is a suction header. The port side tank is right here on that hose where my finger is, and the starboard side tank comes in the opposite end, and they each have their own shut-off valve, and right now both are shut, of course. This goes to my level indicator to just tell me how much water is in the tanks, which only works with the valves. The tanks are valved in, and this fitting goes to the foot pump, and the foot pump is a blue thing on the blue support. And this one, of course, goes to the electric pump, which is what I use typically. Water pump on the local control switch. Pumps on. Something's wrong. Look at that gusher. Okay, that's gusher because it's open. Okay. Okay. Well, that's going to make it harder to find leaks. Rain last night. So the place I'm staying now is called the Happy Iguana Marina and Resort. As resorts go, it's small, probably about 6 cabins, I think, but they have a really nice pool and a really nice set of docks. And the docks are my favorite part, of course, because I live on the boat. But it's been beautifully built and beautifully maintained. It's small bar over there. To the washrooms and the shower and the pool, you have to walk a pretty long dock, about 130 feet long, from the waterfront where the dock is all the way back to getting above hard land. And depending how much rain you have, this area here can be pretty much underwater. It all just depends on river level. So, mosquitoes, baby, that's what I have to say. If you stand still, you're gonna get mosquitoes. Before going into town, I now always wear closed-toed shoes if I have them. So I bought these cheap. These were used. I bought them for $5. And Mr. Dinghy's ready to go. I'm gonna go that way, hang a left, and go under the bridge. That'll be a failed experiment. I'm facing backwards, by the way. Okay, now let's face in the direction we're traveling. %30 chance of rain. Been raining for the last 2 hours. Okay, let's go fast.
Are you ready? Is it videoing? Is it videoing now? Hello!
What it is, he wants our opinions on video.
You can sit here for one. You sit here, and we'll both move forward a little bit.
Yeah.
Try to keep the boat more or less balanced. Hey, you're gonna go on YouTube now.
All right.
My new friends Matthew and Loretta, you know, they passed through town. They're kind of backpackers, and they were passing through Guatemala on their way to Honduras. And we gave them a lift into town. It's every couple of hours.
Yeah. Wow. I love food. I'm really good at it.
Oh yeah.
So here's the bottom of the mast. It has a really cool camera that does 360 degrees, and you can't even see the selfie stick that he's using. So that's Matt in the center, and that's where the selfie stick is, but the camera is programmed to not show the stick itself. So it's really kind of cool. I would love to get a camera like that. And I think I'll look for that when I get to Panama. I miss him already. So it's Matt and Loretta. Loretta is from Chile, and Matt is from Quebec, but they both live in Quebec now. But it was just a damn pleasure to get to know them the last couple of days. So, and that's the thing with sailing for everybody else. You know, you do this life, and you're gonna meet some really wonderful people, as I was just fortunate enough to do. And but people were travelers, and we're not all on the exact same path. So people come, people go. I hope to cross their paths again. They're really a great couple of folks, so I really enjoyed chatting with them. Completely destroyed my productivity for the day yesterday. All we did was sit around and talk. Hey! So this is video, so this will be an
¿Es un video?
Yeah,
un gusto. Gracias. Translate to English.
Mi video es en inglés, sí.
Inglés.
Normal, este es mi idioma nativo.
Traduce. O sea, no, el video es en inglés.
En inglés, pero si uno habla en español.
Ah, sí, sí, sí.
No, but I will write subtitles.
My
Sí,
friend,
pues.
tú eres una gran persona. Siquiera así nos visitaran muchas personas como tú eres bienvenido. Guatemala te quiere y Costa Rica también te quiere.
Gracias, amigo.
Un gusto. Muchas gracias.
Well, those two gentlemen were from Guatemala City, and they were basically tourists coming up here for a weekend. And in this marina, there's a small resort attached, and so we'll get people who are just staying at the resort. And in the evenings, after they eat, they like to walk the docks, and that's how I meet half the people I meet here. You know, I'll be up on the top of the boat cleaning or doing work, and I see people, you know, passing by, checking out the boat, and I'll invite them aboard if they're interested. You know, because I'm not that private. So it was really fun to meet these folks, and again to Matthew and Lori. That was a great visit. You know, I met Matthew first because he was passing by on the dock, and then later got to meet his girlfriend, and so it was just a great trip. And the different languages. You know, Matthew's from Quebec, so he speaks English and French perfectly, and Lorita is from Chile, so she speaks Spanish perfectly, of course, but she speaks English very well, and also she's learning French. So, wow, a lot of languages at work there. But really is a great time. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Not much else really going on the boat. I have been a couple minor jobs here and there, and I replaced or repaired the leaking mast boot seal. At least I think I did. It rained last night and it didn't leak, so I think we're good there. And you know, and I watch the weather mostly. I know that I'm going to be here for a few more weeks before I get this welding job finished. You know, all the canvas work done, and then put the solar panels back and all that. But still, I keep an eye on the weather because I like to watch the trends as the cold fronts go ripping through. I like to see how it behaves. So there's not a heck of a lot else going on, guys. I do expect that my next video should be me getting underway, or at least maybe a completion of the cockpit enclosure and the solar panels going on. And then we're off. The plan is still to leave here and probably work my way north a little bit to Belize, possibly as far as Mexico, unless I got perfect weather, in which case I could sail directly east nonstop. You know, so we'll just have to wait and see what we get at that time. No complaints here. Nothing broke, no injuries in the last several weeks, and I feel pretty darn good. So I hope all you guys are doing well. Enjoy the day. Have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.